What existed when you were a kid that doesn't exist now? Restaurant smoking sections, videotapes, getting off the phone so someone can use the internet. Haha. 9 planets. Front bench seats in a car. Internet that came on a disc. Waiting all night to record your favorite song on cassette tape. The Twin Towers. Pogs. Those rusty, metal merry-go-rounds at the park that killed almost all of us at one point. Gas less than $1 a gallon. Circuit City. 8-track tapes and rotary dial phones. Blockbuster. The Crocodile Hunter. A lot more frogs. Dramatic difference over the last 40 years. Lawn darts. Kmart cafeteria. Fireflies, they exist but I haven't seen one in years. Tamagotchi. The hope of retiring and enjoying my sunset years. Toys R Us. Choco Tacos. Buying comic books off the newsstand or at the grocery store. I'd probably still buy Spider-Man comics if I could get them at the same place as my milk, cheese and bread. Payphones. The mall to hang out. My dad. The fear of nuclear war caused by Russia. Oh wait, it's back, feeling like a kid again. My sanity. One-income household. Affordable housing and jobs with pensions. Phone books. Every once in a while one would just show up at our front door. Floppy disks. Privacy. Freedom to be a kid. Proper video game arcades packed wall to wall with machines. Dark and loud rock music playing. Damn, I miss those. A telephone number you could call just to get the time of day. Jello pudding pops. Ashtrays and cars. The Ren Stimpy Show. Captain Kangaroo. Mr. Rogers. Saturday cartoons all morning, and MTV played just music videos. Watching scrambled porno on the PPV channel. My grandma. Metal and wood playgrounds. More and more are taken down to build those ugly colorful plastic playgrounds. According to my kids, dinosaurs. Radio Shack. Saturday morning cartoons. My grandparents. Printer paper that had those perforated strips on each side with holes. My mom used to bring me into the office and give me the job of tearing off the strips after she printed. Candy cigarettes. Enormous TVs, tape recorders, walkie-talkies, newsstands, penny candy, playing war, cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, and many other group games, without adults around, even after dark. Making toys out of ordinary things, like filling bottle caps with wax and flicking them around a course drawn in chalk. Gluing together plastic models that were intricate and challenging, and then painting in the details or even the whole thing. Wandering the whole neighborhood in the undeveloped land beginning as a preteen. Nobody knew where we were or what we were doing. Just had to be home for dinner. Knocking on my friend's door and asking his parent if he could play. Or just going outside and seeing who was out to play with. Having only one screen in the house and sometimes watching shows as a family. Winding my watch every morning and resetting the time every few weeks. Listening to records that were scratched and noisy, and would skip, get stuck and repeat the same 1 or 2 seconds over and over. Smoking cigarettes in a college classroom during class. Smoking pot in the non-smoking section of movie theaters and nobody said anything. Everyone walked home for lunch in elementary school. City kid paper maps. They were the only way to go to a new place. Vividly seeing the Milky Way splashed across the night sky any place away from the city. Windows covered in frost on winter mornings before double-pane windows came along. Porn being rare and precious. Those white dog turds you'd see laying around. Yeah, where a dog took a crap and then they just slowly dried over weeks and held shape and turned white. They don't exist anymore because of a preservative in dog food that isn't used anymore. So weird. Blockbuster. Woolworths. Leaded gasoline, phone booths, cars without seatbelts, lead paint, asbestos-lined walls and ceilings, Caspian tigers, West African black rhinos, 8-track tapes, pull tabs on drink cans. Does anyone remember the tiny chiclets gum that came in a paper tear-apart package? Had those growing up and haven't seen them in probably 20 years. Video arcades. Polio, smallpox. Games people play. It was an arcade with all the games set to free. You just paid $5 to get in and then played for hours. My dad. Encarta. Good tasting Reese's peanut butter cups. They changed the recipe at some point and they suck now compared to the version in the 90s. Me as a kid. A simpler life. Maud Flanders. My grandma, the most amazing person who raised and loved me so much. Starter homes. Saturday morning cartoons. Joy. TRL. Reality shows like Room Raiders, Next, and parental control iPods, LimeWire, MySpace. Chuck E. Cheese coins. They use cards, now, credit card, computers with CD-ROM drives. Bought a CD recently and was devastated I couldn't rip it to my computer because it didn't have a CD drive. Care. Video rental stores. Friday night was always Blockbuster night. Even if you didn't rent anything, it was fun looking at what was available. Being unsupervised, out of contact. As a kid, You could mess around all day with your friends, or see how far you could go on your bike as long as you were back by dinner. Those jelly shoes all the girls wore. 151 Pokémon. Outdoor fun in the neighborhood. Just riding bikes around with no particular plan, just be home for dinner when the streetlights come on or somebody's mom yells "Stay 5-inner" and then everybody just scattered. Also Kid 1 car goes by, Kid 2 game on. Payphones. Travel agents for routine travel. Corded phones. Specifically rotary dialed phones. Black and white TVs still being common. NBC started shows within living color to make sure people with BW TVs knew they were missing out. 3 or 4 channels. The 3 major networks and maybe PBS. It was a revelation to get cable and the superstations from NY and Atlanta. Computers being a thing most often built from a kit, then eventually becoming sold in stores. Radio Shack being the largest seller of home computers for a while. Politicians running their gig, but lots of reaching across the aisle to get bills passed. In fact, more often than not, there was no strict party line voting. Ronald Reagan could golf with Tip O'Neill and work out a deal that benefited both sides. Manners? Not making this comment in a bitter way. I'm in my 30s and my entire life people remark on how usually polite I am. This includes phone manners. Those little booths where you could drop off your film for processing. A 9th planet in our solar system named Pluto. But no. Happy hour at work. Fax machines with thermal paper. Party lines. Credit card imprint machine with carbon paper. Jazz drives. Edit formatting. Rotary phones. Respect. That list is long. Microplastic speeds in bubble bath and shower soaps for exfoliation. Knowing what we know now, that stuff was so bad for us and the environment. Saturday morning cartoons. Oatmeal with dinosaur eggs that hatched in the hot water. Hoping to baby Jesus you had a pencil to fix your cassette. Calling a number for the weather and the time. Also calling the radio station to request a song and shout out to your crush. Penny candy, soda fountains, front seats in cars that were 1 seat, cigs at 50 cents per pack. Gas at 50 cents per gallon. Mint Skittles name. Crazy Eddie. McCrory's. East Germany is a political entity. Phone booths. Telephones in the kitchen with a 25-foot cord. The middle class. Wages that allowed you to raise a family. Milkman, he actually brought milk, butter, cream and ice cream to your house. Hope. Blockbuster. Telephones you slid coins in to be able to make calls got removed around my town. Which sucks because having to get a mobile phone means you can be harassed 24/7. Jolt Soda. Comfort that my parents had everything figured out and I need not worry. Now I realize the truth. Happiness. My dad. The ability to disagree. TV station playing the national anthem at night, then signing off till the AM. Jello pudding pops. Having to share a phone line. They called it a party line and you could listen to others' conversations. AOL internet discs. Rotary phones. Pagers, payphones and cigarette machines. Affordable crack on the streets. Common sense. Manners. Leaded gas. Candy cigarettes that actually puffed out powdered sugar like real smoke. CD-ROM. I mean, okay, it still exists, just no one uses it. Honorable mentions: Toys R Us, Sears, Borders and losing your shit when the latest edition of Mad Magazine arrived in the mail. Affordable housing. Truly innocent and angelic children. Today's children are born to be cynical, sarcastic and over-sexualized. I blame the internet that exposing them to extreme violence, porn, and TikTok-induced propagandist brainwashing. Many glaciers. Staying out playing until the street lights came, having no idea where you have been or what you had done. Steve Irwin Ripking. Using a pen to try to wind up all that black tape back into my old cassettes so they'd still work. A cassette that has this cable jack that you can plug in a CD player in order to play music in your car that can't play CDs on its own. Cassette tapes. Can anyone remember when there were only 48 states? Yes, I'm that old. Smiley face. My innocence. High quality, sturdy, and inexpensive toys. Video rental stores. It's quite eerie, honestly. One day Terry's one on every corner, the next every trace of them is gone and you begin to wonder if they even existed in the first place, or if it was all just a dream. Phone books. As thick as a phone book used to describe a weighty tome, and the phone book often served as an impromptu booster seat at Thanksgiving. TV repairman. My virginity.
I hope you all are doing well, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. If you have something to say critically or otherwise, leave a comment. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to see more of it. I hope you all have wonderful and fulfilled lives.